why we and our team of independent fiduciary advisors work to create comprehensive plans that bring stability and peace of mind. We don't just help you get to retirement, we want to ensure that you get through retirement. So call us today for your personalized complimentary planning session, 423-315-1441, or visit allonplanning.com, ALLON planning.com to schedule your appointment today.
Investment advisory services offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
You're listening to Paul Feinbaum on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. The Drive is coming up. The ESPN Cleveland 101.3 lineup is supplied by Wholesale Supply Group. WholesaleSupply.us.
It's $1.50 Wing and Whiskey Wednesday at Aubrey's Cleveland.
Hey, Andy Morris here. Join me along with my co-host on The Drive, presented by Hardees, weekdays at 5 p.m. on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Cleveland and Bradley County's local sports show, weekdays at 5 on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
From the Kia of Cleveland Studios, this is ESPN Cleveland 101.3, WCLE HD2 Cleveland, W267BI Cleveland, ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
The top of the hour is presented by Best Buy Metals, making the top of your house the best it can be. Visit bestbuymetalroofing.com.
It's time for The Drive on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, presented by Hardees. We will bring you nonstop sports news from the national and local scene and everything in between. So buckle up and join in on the conversation. It's The Drive.
Don't take no style. Got a thirst for killing. Think about it.
Welcome back to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Andy Morris here along with Jacob Mason and Jim Gum. Glad to be back with you guys today. Wednesday, made it to hump day.
Yeah, man. It's football season's, man, it's right here. We got a lot of games coming up on Thursday, college. Of course, the Friday games, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, man, it's like wall-to-wall football around here. And then the Atlanta Braves are playing really good baseball right now. So a lot of things, and the weather. I'm sorry, y'all. The weather's awesome. We're getting spoiled right now because we've got some more high 90s.
We'll have a heat wave come in.
Yeah, we know that's coming. But, boy, isn't it nice right now in August to get this type of weather? It feels like football outside.
Listen, Jacob, I'm surprised he's got the doors and the top on his Jeep right now.
I know, man. It just hadn't had time. If I'm being honest, hadn't had time to go take it off. It's not a long process, but it definitely, you got to have a little etched out space. And by the time you go to school and you get here at the radio, and then you want to be a dad for a little while at home, I'll get them off eventually. I'll figure out. The problem is I'm not getting into any football time either. When Saturday hits, my butt will be on the couch.
And listen, we are going to have a full slate of football coming up here on our stations between the Bulldogs right here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, Tennessee Volunteers over on Mix 104.1. Very excited just to be in that season where we get to anticipate what's about to happen. And there's been a lot of conversation around college football, and one of them that I want to kind of dive into early here is Arch Manning. He's getting his first legit career start as the quarterback at Texas.
QB1.
And my question is, has Texas quarterback Arch Manning earned all the hype that he has around him entering the 2025 season?
Listen, he's getting hype because of what his grandfather has done, what his uncles have done. That's just the reality of having that last name. We all know that. That being said, I do believe the kid's a pretty darn good quarterback. Okay, you can only get so far by having a famous, grandpa and uncles and stuff like that. He's shown that he can play the game, but is he getting hyped up a little more so? Probably. But listen, we'll see what he's made of when it comes, Saturday around noon, because reality's going to set in because it's his game. It doesn't. There's no Quinn Ewers on the sideline. This is Arch Manning's team. They've been preparing for this for a couple years, and listen, a lot of people thought this kid might transfer, but he stuck it out. And man, and that's one thing about that Manning name. they do have patience, and for whatever reason, and then he's gotten a lot of good advice. He's getting some good coaching there at Texas, so I'm excited to watch this kid.
Yeah, it seems like the Mannings really like Steve Sarkisian and what he's doing at Texas, and obviously I could go on a little bit of a rant as far as the past of Steve Sarkisian and some of the antics we've seen with the way he interacts with people that he considers probably not as important as he is. I have an issue with leaders that lead in that way. But I feel like if the Mannings are willing to be on board and follow, and Arch Manning is, he's doing something right there at Texas.
I'm going to ask you, do you feel like the hype is warranted? I mean, you asked me. I gave my opinion. I'm just curious how you guys feel.
I think the talent, without a doubt, is there.
He's got a big arm now.
He does. And we've seen, obviously, with Quinn Ewers over the past 2 seasons, the time was limited, but the time that we did see of him, actually, the small sample size that we got, he's a guy that I do think is going to be dangerous. Now, do I consider him the front runner for the Heisman right now? No, I do not. I think that comes – you earn that. That you're talking about the ultimate, the galactic all-star award right there, as Chipper Jones would say, when it comes to just being the elite of the elite. And I don't think you just throw someone into that conversation without earning a spot in that conversation.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel on it, too. Like, do I think he is a really good athlete? For sure. Do I think he comes from a very athletic family? Absolutely. Do I think he's going to be good? Yes. The hype, though, the amount of hype. I mean, he came out of school and was already high school and was already one of the most sought after NIL type guys. Like he was evaluated like $2.1 million when that was very expensive.
And money's not an issue for the Manning
they're
family.
successful, yeah.
And really, like when he was being recruited, I was telling people, like, I'll be honest, I want him to come to Georgia not just because I think he could be a good quarterback. He could be a complete bust. He's going to bring talent with him. It's coming. It's coming with him. Right. You know, that name carries a lot of weight, and so I think he's going to be really good. Especially because Texas has the money to put a lot of really good pieces around him as well. But the amount of hype, I think, is the question. I don't think with the amount of hype he's gotten, he's earned it yet.
Yeah, and you talked about recruiting. Listen, we all know recruiting is. We don't spend a ton of time on recruiting here, but we do a little bit. We all know this. Your best recruiters are not your coaches. They're the other players. They're your best recruiters. And you have a guy like a Manning, he's got a lot of influence. Oh, yeah, I promise you, he's been very influential on Texas getting some of these big-time recruits that have been signing within the last couple of years.
Yeah, you're exactly right on that. And one thing, I'm looking at Texas's schedule right now, Jim, and a lot of people may not realize this. Obviously, Ohio State winning the national championship last year, playing Notre Dame in that national championship game. It's not as much for them, but they ended Texas's season last year in the Cotton Bowl. Mm-hmm. The last football game that Texas played was against Ohio State, and they're opening right back up with them.
Isn't that crazy?
And that's something that's kind of been overlooked because we're talking about the national champs, and rightfully so. Which shout out to Jim. He's got his Ohio State Buckeye shirt on today. He's in the fields.
I got influenced by you. I was going to wear the entire uniform, but I couldn't find the pants.
There you go. The scarlet pants.
No, the gray
silver.
The gray pants.
Gotcha. Oh, that's right. The gray. The gray silver.
Spelled Gray, by the way.
Now
I've got a real problem. Tennessee.
The other one is
smoky gray.
The British version, right?
Yeah, Grey. I'm like, Tennessee is such an American-made school, man. Of course, they are going to go to Adidas, so what the heck now? I guess Grey kind of fits, but I do not like to see Americans using Grey for the color.
So someone said, though, that Ohio State is wearing the gray uniforms in Week 1. Is that true? Have you got any confirmation on that?
From what I hear, they're wearing the regular scarlet jerseys with the gray pants. So with 0 stickers on the helmet. That's what I hate about first game. Yeah. The helmets look so plain.
That's one of my favorite parts of these big-time programs. Like, I know Michigan eventually started doing the footballs on there, and Florida State has the tomahawks. I think that looks so good on a helmet. And when you see a guy that's highly decorated, it's like a general walking into a game. Like, it's so cool.
I remember when Georgia, back when Herschel Walker played, they put little stars on the back of the helmet.
Dog bones.
Yeah, now they put dog bones, but when Herschel played, they put little stars. I mean, Herschel was the back of his helmet was just full.
I kind of missed that. Like, that's one thing that if you ask me what we could bring back, that's one that, like, when you saw a guy that had a bunch of bones on the side of his helmet,
He's
or
a
behind,
player.
like, he's a dog.
Yeah, that's
Like,
right.
He's
Dog,
a dude.
Literally, yeah. So, yeah, their best players get all the award stickers. A lot of people don't like the award stickers because they think it's showing too much love towards individuals. Well, guess what? I know it's a team sport, but you win games on the backs and the shoulders of individuals. So I'm okay with the award stickers. A lot of people, like I said, don't like it. You don't see it in the NFL, of course, but you do see it in college football, and I think it's a cool look.
So real quick, I wanted to go back to Texas's schedule, and let's say Arch Manning, as we're talking about Arch Manning, let's say he has a tough go against the defending national champs. That's kind of understandable.
Sure.
That's a tough first start for any quarterback, regardless of what your last name is. If you look at Texas's schedule after that, you're playing San Jose State, UTEP, and Sam Houston. So he's going to have time to get acclimated and get up to the speed of the game, which might not be actual SEC speed playing those teams as far as defenses go, but as far as the way they operate offensively at Texas. But then you're going into a big one down in the swamp against Florida. We're going to find out very early, within a 4 or 5 week period, of is this Heisman hype real or is it fake?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, if he comes away with a win in Columbus and then he pads his stats against those three teams you just mentioned, and he's going into Florida, I mean, I'm pretty confident that he'll be the front runner of the Heisman or right at the very, very, very top. And probably deservingly, if you beat a top 3 Ohio State team and then you put up some big numbers against those teams, you're probably going to be the front runner at that point. And at that point, then it's like, can you maintain it, or does somebody pass you up? Do you have a stinker game somewhere down the road where now you've lost that front runner role as far as the Heisman? And I love this. You know, you always hear about college football. Oh, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. I like this. I've heard other coaches say it's 12 sprints. It's 12 sprints, and I actually like that philosophy a little bit more. Every game's a sprint.
So, have y'all heard about the TV coverage of this game and the news behind it? What's been going on?
YouTube TV
and Fox.
But my brother, thankfully, has AT&T, so I'm covered. I can watch the game.
I promise you, if that game is not on my television at noon, there might be like a strike happening at wherever this dispute is going on. I might lead the charge.
Listen, Spectrum just a couple years ago had the issue with Disney, and the first 2 or 3 weeks I had no ESPN because Disney's obviously owns ESPN. So the first 2 or 3 weeks of football season, I could not watch ESPN. I was furious.
Yeah, that's wild.
Oh, and they do this always at the end of August, at the beginning of the football season. This is when and I think they do this on purpose. I really believe that.
Yeah, so the statement says, our current agreement with Fox is approaching its renewal date, and we are in active and ongoing negotiations to continue to carry their content. Fox is asking for payments that are far higher than what partners with comparable content offering receive. So, to me, it's always a money grab. Like, I think we talk about this all the time. It's always a money grab. But you want to talk about me having an issue with the Big Ten and Fox and all those things, that will certainly continue.
What about the NFL?
If that game is not on exactly,
the NFL's on Fox, y'all. I mean, come on.
If that doesn't
Fox and CBS.
Yeah.
People switch to YouTube TV because of what you're able to do. Like, and now, Jim's one of them. And now, I don't know if you know this, you can pick what games you want in the boxes.
I know.
If that game's not on there, I'm telling you, I'm going to riot.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and publicly call Jacob out here because he's been missing out on quality Atlanta Braves baseball for the past I don't know how many years now. And he's like, hey, I just saw something happen. I'm like, are you watching like the game cast where it's got like the little action figures playing the game? Like, that is not what happened.
I'm bumming it off of like TikTok and stuff.
So, I mean, you could get YouTube TV and also still get the Braves. You have another subscription.
He's not willing to do it.
For $29.99 a month.
He's not willing to do it.
Yeah.
We've tried.
I'm cheap, man. I'm cheap.
Oh God, I love it.
And that's another problem I have though. Like, why are the Braves not covered locally? Like, why is it a blackout when they're on my screen? Like, that's an issue.
That is
ridiculous. Bad for baseball.
And baseball wonders why they don't have the national coverage. This is a perfect example of why. The team that's closest to us, if it's on like a FS1
MLB network,
MLB blacked out. I'm like, well, you're defeating the purpose of trying to grow your brand with the local fans. You can't watch it. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's one thing in terms of college football. I'm thankful that my team is NBC Peacock, because even if my cable goes out and I'm having an issue, I can just log on to Peacock on my phone and watch the game.
Yeah, that's true.
And so that's one of those things. It's unique, and we've seen this, as Jacob brought up, with Major League Baseball, how unique it is, where, like, back in the TBS days and the WGN days for the Cubs, it was so accessible and easy anywhere in the country to watch Braves baseball or Chicago Cubs baseball. And you started because of these big contracts. And the problem is, and I'm going to go and say, it's the big networks like Fox that want to have these nationally marketed games on certain days of the week. And it's for some of these teams to give up that big coverage because they go into these TV deals, these TV contracts with those regional networks.
Yeah, we had the ballets, and now we got it's
FanDuel now.
FanDuel now.
Yeah.
And so you've got these things where, like the Cubs and Braves, they're not televised coast to coast like they once were. Everything's regionalized.
Yeah.
Now, you can subscribe to a lot of these and watch it, but, man, it's quite pricey to do that. And are there people out there that do it? Yeah. I don't. I'm not, I'm kind of like Andy. Jacob, I'm like, sometimes I'm like, no, it's just not, I can't justify it. Because I've got so many things to do at night. I can't justify the cost because I'm going to miss half the games anyway.
Yeah,
because of life.
You're exactly right. But we do have a full slate of games coming up over the next few days. On Thursday, number 25, Boise State, traveling to South Florida. That's a game. South Florida's not ranked, but they've got some players down there.
A lot of humidity down there in South Florida that Boise State's not used to.
Yeah, very interested in that game. Nebraska at Cincinnati is another one.
That game's in Kansas City, by the way.
Is it really?
At Arrowhead Stadium.
That's pretty cool. Didn't know that.
And Cincinnati's the home team. Obviously, Nebraska's going to have 90% of the fans because Nebraska's not that far from KC.
Yeah, and then on Friday, Georgia Tech at Colorado at 8 p.m., which Colorado named their starting quarterback today. Transfer from, is it? I'm going to get this right before I put it out there.
So you remember when Colorado and Georgia Tech tied for the national championship in 1990? Georgia Tech won the coaches poll. Colorado won the writers poll, the AP poll. So I guess this is the first time they've played each other since then. At least if they have, I don't recollect it.
Yeah, so it was Caden Salter who's been named Colorado's quarterback from Liberty.
He was committed to Tennessee at one time.
Yes,
went to Liberty and then over there to Colorado. That's right. So anyway,
I thought Jacob was about to say something. He leaned up. We're just trying to make sure he doesn't hit his head on the mic again today.
Yeah, that was something. I was having a day yesterday. just go ahead and laugh, Jim. It's all right,
man. Andy says things sometimes. I'm just not expecting it, man.
Hey, he is not afraid to poke fun. We've been doing this long enough that I almost expect it.
I'm gonna tell our listeners that these two guys are like an old married couple sometimes, coming in here, jabbing each other, just going off on each other. I'm like, y'all like an old married couple, man. I love it, though. It cracks me up.
Sometimes it's a little bit like Laverne and Shirley, isn't it?
Well, Archie and Eve the Bunker. How about that?
There you go. That's a good one. Or Dumb and Dumber, maybe. More accurate depiction.
There you go.
But, yeah, and, of course, you've got Tennessee versus Syracuse down at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and this is something that we've been promoting all week. Vols 25, the giveaway presented by USS, giving away tickets all season long to Vols road games. Every Monday, games include Mississippi State, Alabama, Kentucky, Florida, and, of course, the kickoff game down in Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz Stadium against Syracuse. You can only register with our stations here, ESPN Cleveland 101.3, Mix 104.1, and Cleveland's Oldies 99.1. So be sure to get on there and message us. Also, you can do the volunteer Ritapest text line 423-749-1013. Be sure to put Vols 25 and include your name.
And by the way, Steve and Bridget will be pulling out the winner tomorrow on Mixed Morning. So if you want to go, you better get it in tonight. Or really, really super early tomorrow morning. But so that those contest winners will be announced on Mixed Mornings tomorrow. I think around 8 o'clock. I think Steve said. I think that's what he said. But
so
anyway,
one more time, the Volunteer Ridipest text line for your chance to win tickets to the Tennessee-Syracuse game Saturday in Atlanta. All you've got to do is text 423-749-1013 with your name and Vols 25. With that, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, going to talk a little bit more football, college football. So a little bit of news coming out of the NFL today, some record-breaking contract. A record-breaking contract that took place, and also going to dive into the SEC a little bit more as well.
That's right.
When we come back here on ESPN Cleveland at 101.3.
The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardees.
Whatever you got planned this weekend, cancel it. This is John Davis, the trade-in man for Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway, announcing our Labor Day weekend blowout. And we're blowing them out of here at whatever price it takes. Don't waste your time driving all over everywhere. I'll beat any deal from anywhere in Georgia, Tennessee, or Alabama. And when it comes down to your trade-in, just know this. Whatever anyone else offers you for your current vehicle, the trade-in man will give you more. Making payments on your current vehicle and want to trade out early? This is your chance. Credit score less than perfect? Now is the time. So blow off that boat trip. Cancel your cookout. Come see me, John Davis, the trade-in man, and we'll be open all day Labor Day at Kia of Cleveland on South Lee Highway in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee, where trading your car is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Looking for the dealer who's gonna give you more. Kia of Cleveland Superstore.
Negative equity refinance with approved credit offers don't combine.
KiaofCleveland.com.
Hardees is hiring. Join the Star Team. Flexible scheduling, daily pay, free meals, 20% family discount, plus paid vacation for part-time and full-time employees. Apply in-store or online at Hardees.com today.
When competition is fierce, sports injuries happen, and Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is here to help. Saturday sports clinics are available at our Chattanooga and Cleveland offices from August 23rd through November 8th for the treatment of non-emergency orthopedic injuries like sprains, strains, and fractures. Doors open at 9 a.m., no appointment needed to be seen by our highly trained physicians and clinical staff. Saturday sports clinic dates are subject to change. Check sportmed.com for the latest information. That's sportmed.com.
ESPN Cleveland 101.3 is powered by Duracell.
Rock City and Ruby Falls are fun, but have you been down the Ocoee, camped at Harrison Bay, or on top of Fort Mountain? We are blessed with beautiful adventures all around us, and Honda Cleveland has the Honda to take you there. Hurry in for $5,000 off your choice of 25 Accord or CRV Hybrid. $5,000 off. Or choose 2.99% financing on Accord and CRV Hybrid. Either way, you'll see why KBB.com has named Honda America's best value brand. You can saddle up a new Ridgeline pickup too with financing as low as 0.99% for 60 months, and that'll save you hundreds in financing. Or if you need service, parts, and tires, at Honda Cleveland you can get the work done now and pay over time with up to 3 months interest-free, with no hard credit check and a 90% approval rate. You've got some exploring to do, and we've got your ticket to ride. Honda Cleveland, your car, your way, every day. I-75 exit 20, 1 mile east. Hope to see you soon.
Do you suffer from unsightly leg veins? Are your legs turning brown or swelling? Do your legs feel heavy, tired, or achy? Do you have restless legs or leg cramps disturbing your sleep? These symptoms are signs of bad veins. Dr. James Gooden at Milligan Vein offers an office treatment that can make you look and feel better, and your procedure is covered by most insurance. Find more information online at milliganvein.com or call Dr. Gooden today at 423-961-5682 and get rid of those bad veins.
Listen up, Cleveland. The wait is over. Josh Porter here with Optimize You, the region's #1 hormone replacement clinic. We specialize in both men and women's hormones and are so excited to finally be here in Cleveland, ready to serve you. Find us online at OptimizeYouCenters.com. That's OptimizeYouCenters.com.
Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardees. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Duracell in Cleveland is now hiring mechanical skilled technicians, $22 to $27 an hour. Excellent benefits beginning day one: medical, dental, vision insurance, paid vacation, holiday pay, 401k, tuition reimbursement, and more. Apply now at Duracell.com. That's Duracell.com.
So Jacob, I believe, is getting us set up over here. We're going to do an ESPN Cleveland 1013 college football pick'em, which, listen, I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, so I've already created the group. We're doing this on the fly, but it is open to the public, like our good friends at Wholesale Supply. So you can go over there and join it. So you get on ESPN and you go to College Pick'em. Look up ESPN Cleveland 1013 as the name of the group. We're also going to throw it out on social medias after the show. But the way it works is it gives you some games and you get 10 points for each one you get correct. So we're not playing like the spread or anything like that.
Just
it's just
pure winners.
Pure winners. So, like this week, the matchups are Texas, Ohio State, Northwestern, Tulane, UTEP, Utah State, LSU, Clemson, Georgia Southern, and Fresno State, Hawaii, Arizona, Cal, Oregon State, Utah versus UCLA, and Virginia Tech, South Carolina, and Notre Dame, Miami.
Why do I have a feeling every Tennessee fan's going to pick Utah?
Yeah.
They will, man.
I think so.
I think every Tennessee fan is rooting for Tennessee and against UCLA. Is that not accurate? Everyone I know that's a Tennessee fan is rooting so hard against Nico and UCLA. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, man, I saw some video today on Nico, and they were talking about how awesome he's looked in practice. And all the excitement amongst UCLA fans on X, formerly known as Twitter, and I'm sitting here watching these videos, and he made some good plays with his legs, and he's got a strong arm. We've known that, and I'm thinking, is there something that's new and improved about the UCLA defense that we didn't know about that's making everybody freak out?
I know they got some guys in the portal on defense too. They were very active in the portal. They had to be. UCLA was a very, very average football team last year, well below average football team. And they made some strides on both sides of the ball. Obviously, the biggest was getting Nico Iamaleava, but we'll see what UCLA is like tomorrow on Saturday. So listen, I'm 3 days ahead of myself. What can I say? I'm excited, y'all. I'm so pumped for football right now. It doesn't matter if it's middle school, high school, college, the NFL. I mean, I even watched a little CFL the other night. I really did. But you talk about an interesting set of rules. Good Lord. It's way different.
Do you have a favorite Canadian football league team?
Toronto. The Toronto Argonauts.
Argonauts, yeah.
I don't know why. I just always have liked the Toronto Argonauts.
Now, is that where Doug Flutie played when he was up there? Or was he in Quebec?
I think he was with Calgary or something
Calgary,
like that.
yeah, that's right.
I think
you're right.
I think Toronto is where Condredge Holloway played, the former Tennessee quarterback. I think he set tons of CFL records up there. But I don't, and that's not the reason I like the Toronto Argonauts. I just like them better. I don't know why. I just do.
This is so random, but I kind of went into a deep dive on the Arena Football League, and there's now the Indoor Football League, which the Nashville Cats, which originally were one of the first arena teams, are now in that IFL. And there's a little competition there because I saw a highlight of a game that was overturned. I don't know if you saw this or not.
No.
But they went down, and it was originally reviewed, called on the field first that there was an illegal man in motion, that the team wasn't set, and they scored on the play. Well, then upon review, there was no illegal motion, so they gave him the touchdown.
They can overrule a penalty?
Then it came out that they could not.
Oh,
this was
Lord.
hours after the game.
Lord.
And so both teams are just up in arms over.
I'm up in arms, and you're just telling me about it.
And it was part of that IFL league, and I was like, IFL, Indoor Football League. So I kind of dove in and saw, hey, Nashville Cats are in there now, but the arena, it's now Arena Football 1 is also a league. So just a random thing that I discovered today, because I used to be a pretty big fan of the Arena Football League. Listen, a guy here locally, Brandon Fields, Jim, you know him well, a Cleveland High School legend, played a little arena football. So really, I've always followed it, and anyone that knows the Kurt Warner story of his time.
For the Iowa
Barnstormers.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Tennessee legend Heath Schuler. Spent some time with the Nashville Cats as well.
Well, you talk about a guy that I thought was going to be a superstar in the NFL, Heath Schuler. That one shocked me. That shocked me more than Jamarcus Russell when he didn't make it in the NFL. I thought Heath Schuler had everything you wanted in a quarterback. I think he's smart. We know he's smart. Really strong arm. And mobile, he had everything you wanted, and it just didn't translate for whatever reason. And we'll never know, but he held out his rookie year because Washington and his agents, and they couldn't get together, so he held out, and he didn't get on the field until the season had already begun.
You know what? I threw out Heath Schuler. It was Andy Kelly. That's who it was.
Okay,
Andy Kelly with the Nashville Cats.
Okay. Either way, Heath Schuler, though, in the NFL, was a shocker that he was not way more successful than it was. But that just goes to show you how difficult it is to make it in the NFL.
Yeah. I started kind of second guessing myself there. I was like, I think it was Andy Kelly, and sure enough it was. But, yeah, Heath Schuler is a guy that, man, we talked about him the other day wearing number 21.
Yeah, Heath Schuler, that's right.
How cool that
Doug
was.
Fleeting wore 22. In fact, he wore 22 in the CFL. They don't have that number restriction like the NFL does.
Yeah, you're exactly right on that. I was always a big Doug Flutie fan, which, by the way, the last player in NFL history to hit a drop kick.
Drop kick.
Yep.
That was so cool when he did that.
I'll never forget. For whatever the reason, that just stands out so much in my mind.
That's what Doug Flutie is known for.
The uniqueness of it.
In the NFL, as far as the NFL, is a drop kick.
Yeah, he
New England, right?
Yeah, he was with the Patriots at the time, but he had a good little run with the Buffalo Bills when he was there.
Too. He was with the Bears, too. So he bounced around a little bit. He really made his name initially in the USFL. Of course, that league folded up, and then he goes to CFL, and then he had a cup of coffee in the NFL here or there. Obviously, his height was a real issue.
Well, a lot of college football fans remember that Hail Mary for Boston College to beat Miami.
I'll never forget that. It was Friday after Thanksgiving, or either that may have been Thanksgiving night or the Friday after Thanksgiving. I cannot remember now. I'll never forget that game.
He threw the ball about 60 yards, too.
He had a big arm for a little guy.
He
really did.
And speaking of Miami losing, hopefully that continues this weekend for my Fighting Irish.
Are you excited about that game?
I am. Catholics versus convicts. Very excited. We allowed to say that? Is this a fun place?
This is a fun place.
Okay, I was just making sure, Jacob. But, hey, speaking of my Irish real quick, I want to throw this out there really fast. Kyle Hamilton, who is regarded as one of the best safeties in the NFL, he and the Baltimore Ravens reached an agreement on a 4-year, $100.4 million extension that is the largest deal for a safety in NFL history today. And coincidentally, his agent is former Notre Dame safety Kyle McCarthy. I figured this out today. I thought that was really cool. And
he's good, man.
But, yeah, that's a guy who you go on social media and they're like, if you could add one player to your team right now from past teams to be a part of what you've got, Kyle Hamilton is that guy at safety for me.
Yeah, he's a baller. This guy he's a big hitter, but he's smart. He's got a real nose for the football, good hands. He's got everything you want on that side of the ball for sure. So, yeah, that's a big signing right there for sure.
Yeah, and while we're still talking some football here, we're going to go over to our Braves coverage here shortly. Syracuse head coach Fran Brown watched his press conference today and talked about a guy who's got a lot of respect for the Tennessee football team, but he several times during that press conference said, we're not focused on Tennessee. We're focused on us and what we can do better. He said if we went to practice worrying about Tennessee, we would have already beaten ourselves, which I thought was very telling coming from him, who had a very solid season last year and is a guy that caught a lot of people's attention with the season that Syracuse had last season.
Well, at some point you better get focused on Tennessee. I'm sorry. I mean,
right.
You got to focus on your team. I get that. But the Vols are going to be there, so my suggestion would be to focus a little bit more on Tennessee as the days come closer to Saturday.
And I'm one of those people, I look into that stuff, and he was all business, very professional, and it's funny seeing the uniqueness and the differences between all these head coaches when they're doing their press conferences and all the media relations stuff, because some of them are just so good and then some of them are just so cold, cut, and dry. And I feel like that Fran Brown, head coach at Syracuse, and Josh Heupel are very similar, where they're going to answer the questions, but they're not going to giggle with you too much, and it's all business. But one thing that stood out was the fact that they were talking about the guys on that team, and he kind of, when he was asked about Tennessee, gave them obviously a ton of credit about the bodies they have, the stars that they have, and I think this is a game where, and I don't want to put this on Syracuse, because I think they're a well-coached team. Our guy Chad Smith is the instructor of football operations at Syracuse, and hopefully going to have him on the show. We're going to try to get that lined up to where we can have him on potentially Friday, where we'll interview him and then have it on Friday. But I think this is a team that is looking at Tennessee saying, we're not there yet. That's just my insight, reading between the lines on some of the stuff that he said.
I don't know. He learned under Kirby Smart. One thing that if you listen to Kirby Smart in a press conference, you would think that Georgia is going to be the worst team that ever played football. I mean, he's so critical. He never he says, we did some good things, but I'm going to tell you, we can't do this, can't do this, can't do this, and then they go out and win a game by 40, the next week. So I think that's coaches speak. I
agree with you.
It kind of takes, not the pressure off of you, but it points it in a different direction versus, I just don't ever think a coach is going to come out and say, this is the best practice we've ever had. We look great. We're going down there on Saturday and handling business. Because what if you go down there and get your teeth kicked in and you just said you had the best practice ever?
Well, I'm surprised you didn't use your term that Steve really likes, skull drug.
Yeah, I mean, you get absolutely skull drugged by a team.
Hey, by the way, guys, we have a new segment we're going to be doing every day now. Inside the SEC, sponsored by Southern Heritage Bank. Listen to some of these stats here, guys. 16 times in the last 19 seasons, a team from the SEC has advanced to the national championship game. The SEC has won 13 of those contests, with 2 of the losses coming in the game's final seconds. The winner of the SEC championship game has advanced to the national championship game in all but 3 times since 2006. 5 different SEC teams, Alabama, Auburn, Florida, LSU, and Georgia, have played for and won the national championship in the last 15 years. All 5 have made multiple appearances and at least 1 victory in the national championship game since 2007. The SEC has won 4 consecutive college football national championships by 3 different programs, LSU, Alabama, and Georgia, from 2019 to 2022. And last but not least, not counting games against each other when it's SEC versus SEC, but when they played outside competition, the SEC is 16-7 all time in the college football playoff games, playing in 8 of the 11 college football championship games, winning 6 of those 8. The SEC is 10-3 in CFP semifinals, including a streak of 10 consecutive semifinal wins from 2015 to 22. That is why the SEC, it just means more.
But hey, we have to move to 9 games because it's not hard enough.
And by the way, so thankful to have Southern Heritage Bank to sponsor this, and we're going to do this every day. And partner, we have got a lot of stuff to throw out there as far as SEC football every day here on the Drive.
Are we ready to talk about that now?
Let's go ahead and do it.
Okay, so one of the things, and I wanted to get your opinion on this, Jim. One of the things that I really started to think about the 9 game and then plus the 1 quality opponent. And then me and you had that conversation on Friday about the metric that the SEC is pushing for the college football committee to use. I feel like the Big Ten should be kicking themselves.
Well, I think the Big Ten needs to step up. They need to do the same thing. If they're going to play 9, they need to all step up and play 1 Power 4 opponent. And the ACC now is on the clock. They've got to go to 9. You can't play. You can't have the Big 12, the ACC. I mean, the Big 12, the SEC, and the Big 10 playing 9, and the ACC sitting over there playing 8. They've got to step it up too. I love this. I think it's good. The games that we'll be watching each Saturday are going to be so much better. The menu is a stronger menu, which. That's what we want.
I'll be honest, though.
That's what we want.
With this new metric, if they use it, I don't know that 9 games plus one quality opponent outside is enough for the Big Ten. I don't. If you add,
I think it will be.
If you add, the problem with the Big Ten is they're super top heavy. Their 4 teams are great, but the middle ones are not as good as some of the middle ones in the SEC.
No, you're right.
Jim just threw out a bunch of SEC teams that have won national titles in the past few years. Outside of Ohio State and Michigan, Michigan State is the last Big Ten team to win a national title. And do you know what year that was?
Not counting Nebraska or USC. You talking about
because
while they were in the
they
SEC,
were not
in the Big
members.
Ten.
They were not members when they won it.
1965?
1957.
57, okay.
So the Big Ten, outside of Ohio State and Michigan, really.
What about Minnesota in 1960?
Was it 60 that they won?
Yeah, they won a national championship in 1960.
So that's one of those ones that's a split title.
I know, but I mean,
that's
still,
why.
Yeah.
So just an outright title. So and that's another thing. So like when Penn State won it, they were still independent, were they not?
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
So
Penn State got the shaft in 1994.
Yeah,
they went 13-0. They were number 2 in both.
Yes.
Then Nebraska won the AP and the coaches poll.
Yeah.
Penn State was number 2. So
my point on that is you say top heavy in the Big Ten, and I know there's been some years where Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota, now Nebraska have had some good years, and obviously Penn State is right there in the mix. But when's the last time we've seen Penn State win that big game?
Oh, it's been a while. It's been a while.
We've seen numerous teams across the SEC, and you can say, yeah, the Big Ten's won the last 2 national titles.
But they're not nearly as deep as the Southeastern Conference.
And as we've said on this show, there's a big asterisk right there beside that Michigan one now. I don't know.
Yeah, there's no question.
I don't know a lot of people that are giving them a ton of credit for winning that title in 23.
Yeah, I mean I'm not. But where I was going with that point, so like one thing that I thought about, if I'm Greg Sankey, right, and we're playing these 9 games and then we're playing that one, you've got to go play that one. I look at every single athletic director and I say, do not schedule the Big Ten. Don't do it. Go schedule the ACC. Go schedule the Big 12. Let them figure it out. They put pressure on us all summer long.
They'll figure it out because, I mean, Big Ten and SEC can pay more than anyone else. So if the Big Ten team goes to a Big 12 or goes to an ACC, they'll get them.
Right. But if I'm the SEC, I would say do not help them with that new metric. With that new metric, it's going to look at quality opponents.
Well, Ohio State's playing Alabama in a couple years.
Right. So. Well, but those are dropping like flies. Alabama just canceled theirs with West Virginia.
Texas. I bet you Texas will play Ohio State next year because they're not going to go to Columbus this year and then drop it next year. So they'll complete that series. That's not going to happen.
I'm telling you, if I'm Greg Sankey, I put all the pressure back on the Big Ten and say you guys wanted us to do this.
But if it comes out that the SEC is refusing to play Big Ten teams, that's not going to be a good look.
Well, you don't refuse; you just schedule somebody else. Well, you go ahead and you put it on the schedule and say, hey, sorry, we're more interested with this.
Personally, I think we'll see a lot of Big Ten SEC games. I really do.
I would like, and this is one thing, I can't remember if we actually talked about it on the show. I would like to see something similar to what they do in basketball.
The challenge.
Where they have a weekend where it's the SEC Big Ten Challenge.
I agree.
I think that would be so good for college football fans to see Ohio State roll down and play LSU, to see Michigan come down and play Tennessee, to see Georgia go up north and play Penn State.
Well, that's possible if everybody adopts this 9+1. If everybody does it, then that is a like I'm thinking through it right now. You just rotate. 1 year it's the SEC, the ACC. 1 year it's the
and the Big 12.
And that one game, you don't get to be the one who picks it. The ADs and all the like a committee works it out.
It's not a home and home neither. You may play like Tennessee might play Purdue 1 year, and the next year you're playing Michigan. One at home, one on the road. You alternate the home and the road things.
There are complications with that just because the amount of teams in each conference are different.
Well, 18 in the Big Ten, 16 in the SEC. Yeah, that's a problem.
So there is some issues there with that thought process because you would have to go out. Some of those teams, maybe your bottom feeders, would have to go out and play a different G4 conference game at some point in time in the season.
But that's always been a factor in the challenge in the basketball too. we have leagues that don't have the same number. Sometimes you're just left out.
Also, sitting here thinking through it too, like Georgia already plays that. Georgia Tech. Florida already plays Florida State.
That's an issue.
South Carolina already plays Clemson. Kentucky already
Florida
plays
State,
Louisville.
Florida, yeah.
Which you could just double up with that conference opponent.
And if the metric goes through like we're talking about, you are kind of incentivized to play some of these bigger games.
And here's the thing. Now remember this too. When you go to the 9-team or the 9-game schedule, one year you're playing 4 at home and 5 on the road. The next year you're playing 5 at home and 4 on the road. So when you play these when you're playing a team from another team from another conference, if you've only got 4 SEC home games, by Georgia, you're playing that non-conference game is going to be in your home stadium.
Yes.
Period. End of story. There's no debate about that because you're not going to play 6 or 7 road games.
If the potential of a Maryland-Mississippi State football game doesn't get you excited for the possibility of this, I don't know what will.
Sign me up, man.
You're listening to The Drive on ESPN Cleveland. When we come back, we're going to continue this conversation about the set 9 games within the SEC, and we're also going to talk some Atlanta Braves baseball when we come back here on ESPN Cleveland.
The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardees.
When competition is fierce, sports injuries happen, and Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is here to help. Saturday sports clinics are available at our Chattanooga and Cleveland offices from August 23rd through November 8th for the treatment of non-emergency orthopedic injuries like sprains, strains, and fractures. Doors open at 9 a.m., no appointment needed to be seen by our highly trained physicians and clinical staff. Saturday sports clinic dates are subject to change. Check sportmed.com for the latest information. That's sportmed.com.
We're celebrating the Labor Day holiday all month long during Don Ledford's annual pre-owned sizzling upgrade sale. Don Ledford Pre-Owned Trucks, SUVs, and Vans in Cleveland is the dealership to go if you're looking for quality, variety, and a dealership you can trust to back up every pre-owned vehicle they sell. They currently have over 50 quality pre-owned vehicles for this special annual event. All of your favorites: Buick, Cadillac, Chevrolet, GMC, Ford, Honda, Kia, Jeep, Lincoln, Nissan, Ram, and Toyota. There's truly something for everyone. Go online to donledford.com. Review the vehicles you're interested in and visit the showroom, 4595 North Lee Highway, Cleveland, to inspect and test drive your choice. You'll get a great deal during this annual event. So come today to Don Ledford's Pre-Owned Center in Cleveland, where they've been selling pre-owned vehicles you can trust since 1981. Hurry, this sale ends September 1st, 2025.
Rock City and Ruby Falls are fun, but have you been down the Ocoee, camped at Harrison Bay, or on top of Fort Mountain? We are blessed with beautiful adventures all around us, and Honda Cleveland has the Honda to take you there. Hurry in for $5,000 off your choice of 25 Accord or CR-V Hybrid. $5,000 off. Or choose 2.99% financing on Accord and CR-V Hybrid. Either way, you'll see why KBB.com has named Honda America's best value brand. You can saddle up a new Ridgeline pickup too with financing as low as 0.99% for 60 months, and that'll save you hundreds in financing. Or if you need service, parts, and tires, at Honda Cleveland you can get the work done now and pay over time with up to 3 months interest-free, with no hard credit check and a 90% approval rate. You've got some exploring to do, and we've got your ticket to ride. Honda Cleveland, your car, your way, every day. I-75 exit 20, 1 mile east. Hope to see you soon.
City School Magazine 2025 High School Football Collectors Edition. Your inside look at 41 teams. Team profiles, coaches' comments, stats, schedules, rosters, and game day pictures. See legendary teams, football fanatic families, and a lot more. Look for the Golden Football. Win $500 for your school. $500 for your school. Purchase a copy from your school booster clubs. All proceeds go to schools. City School Magazine High School Football Collectors Edition. Don't miss it. Help support your school. Not all composite decking is the same. Enjoy life's beautiful moments on an equally beautiful composite deck. Envision's products feature deep, non-repeating grains and distinct colors throughout each pour, offering a truly unique appearance unlike anything else on the market. Learn more and find inspiration for your project at Cleveland Plywood. Cleveland Plywood Company, 2700 20th Street Northeast in Cleveland. Cleveland Tire Center, locally owned and operated for over 45 years. Cleveland Tire, your one-stop auto care shop in Cleveland. North Lee Highway, where the name says it all.
Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardees. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
When it comes to Mayfield Dairy ice cream, you'll never have a boring bite. Their limited edition ice creams include cherry chocolate chip and banana pudding. They're inspired by traditional Southern recipes and seasonal favorites. Pick some up today at your local grocery store. Learn more at MayfieldDairy.com.
Man, I tell you what, I'm excited about. We're going to have some big-time winners on this station tomorrow morning. Steve and Bridget are going to announce the winner of the Tennessee-Syracuse tickets.
Yeah, Vols 25 giveaway presented by USS.
By USS. And also the Georgia Marshall game. They're going to give those away as well. So excited about giving away these tickets. And, man, somebody's going to be happy.
Yeah,
really, really happy.
Marshall makes their way down to Sanford Stadium there in Georgia. 2 tickets. Text UGA to 749-1013 along with your name, and register also on the ESPN Cleveland 1013 Facebook page.
Now, let me tell y'all something. Oh, now, Ashley, she works here. She showed me where these seats are on these away games.
They're good seats.
They're good seats. They're expensive seats. They're good seats. They're the value of all this stuff. If y'all saw the final tally, it's big time. Big time. I'm telling you, this is a big time radio show and a big time radio station we're on.
Yeah,
it really is.
And it might get a little confusing because, listen, people are aware Steve Hartline's associated with ESPN Cleveland. That doesn't mean we've got Skyline tickets, people. Don't put that on Steve. Steve's taking care of us on this one.
I'm telling you.
I'm being a little facetious.
I'm telling you, though, these are good seats. I would love to be sitting in these seats. I really would. But anyway, so we shall see, who the winner is. And if you've registered, good luck. That's all I got to say. Unfortunately, we're not eligible.
I know it.
Darn.
Hey, some breaking news. Fox and YouTube TV have agreed to a short-term extension while they are working through a new agreement. So you will be able to watch the game on Saturday.
I'm going to my brother's house anyway, so hey, it doesn't matter.
I will not be pitching a fit on my couch, so that's good news.
But it says short time. It doesn't give like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It just says a short time, so that could mean maybe 2 weeks. I'm telling you, when the NFL starts, we think we're going nutso over this. NFL fans will riot, both YouTube and Fox, if this doesn't get agreed upon, because the NFL fans are ridiculously passionate about this stuff. And the Fox, that ain't going to happen, man.
Yeah, for sure. So, hey, again, we're going to throw this out there. We're doing a college pick'em. If you want to be a part, you can join it. The page is open to the public, just like Wholesale Supply, so you can go join. We're going to push it out on social medias, but it's ESPN Cleveland 1013. You pick some college games. You can win 10 points every time you get it correct. It's standard. It's not by the spread, so just basically money line. If you're into betting, you're betting the money line. Who you think is going to win this game? Is it going to be Texas, Ohio State? And there's 9 other games that are involved. We'd love to have you on. Maybe we'll have a prize at the end of the season for whoever comes out with the most points. We'll see if we can work that out. But it's super excited to do this. I do it every week with my college friends, your high school friends, actually.
It's fun. It's fun, y'all. It really is.
So, I've got a group of guys from Cleveland High School that we do this every single Saturday. So it's something that we talk about and text about and stay in touch. So it's a fun way for us to interact with you. You'll be able to text us at the 423-749-1013 and talk a little trash, because you picked better than us this week.
So let me ask you, are you guys one of these people that is chalk every weekend, or you have a feel that I'm picking the upset? I
throw some upsets in.
I go with upsets every now and then.
Yeah,
I do.
I throw some in there just to see if I can get some separation. But, hey, real quick, I do want to throw this out there. We've got middle school football tomorrow taking place right here in our hometown, Lake Forest versus Ocoee at the MAC. JV starts at 5:30. Once again, that's the McKenzie Athletic Complex at Walker Valley High School. Lake Forest versus Ocoee. JV 5:30, varsity at 7. And then Cleveland is hosting Baylor there at Cleveland Middle School. JV starts at 5, varsity at 6:30. So if you want to see the future of these 3 local high school football programs, go watch some of these middle school football teams and support those young athletes.
And I'm assuming Peyton's son is not playing in this game, correct?
Oh, goodness. I didn't think about that.
I don't think he is. I could be wrong.
Now, he's an 8th grader, right?
I think so.
Didn't think about that. That game might have some big attendance.
Breaking news: Cleveland Middle School has sold out.
What Peyton Manning comes in a helicopter and lands, to practice.
Got to have a big time entrance.
No, I don't know if he's out there. That was the first thing I thought of, though.
He's probably practicing with the high school team, let's be honest.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, we're going to go ahead and go over to our Atlanta Braves coverage brought to you by Mayfield Dairy. And yesterday, the Braves won Game 2 of the 3-game set down in Miami, 11-2. Jim, I told you this story. I was watching the game. It was 9th inning, 2-2. And I was laying on my couch, and I just couldn't hang in there.
Dozed off.
When I woke up in the middle of the night, I saw that the Braves won 11-2, scoring 9 runs. In that 9th inning, the Braves absolutely went off, and it was a 2-home run game for Ozzie. And Vidal Brujan, former Marlin, actually gave the Braves the hit that drove in the run to give them the lead there that opened the floodgates for that 9-run inning. So big deal there last night for the Braves. Hurston Waldrop looked solid, went 5 1/3, 8 hits, 1 run, 1 walk. And Tyler Kinley got the W for the Braves. And then today, the Braves had an early game, ended up taking the series down there in the 305 as they absolutely thumped the Marlins once again for the 2nd night in a row in front of about 10 fans.
Oh, my
and
gosh.
50 ushers and security guards, if you want to count them as well. That was the final series meeting between these two this season. But the Braves' final score today was 12-1. Joey Wentz went 6 2/3, 4 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Atlanta scored 1 in the first, 5 in the third, 3 in the fourth, 2 in the sixth, and 1 in the seventh. Jerickson Profar, that is, had a 2-home run game. And Olson, Albies, and Michael Harris each had a home run as well.
Drake Baldwin, by the way, he did not have any RBIs tonight or today. He has 18 RBIs against the Marlins this year, which is the most of any player against one team in Major League Baseball this year. You would have thought scoring 12 runs, he'd have had a couple of RBIs to get to 20, but he stuck at the 18. But still, 18 RBIs against the Marlins for the entire year, the most of any single player against one franchise in 2025.
Yeah, and the Braves continue to play spoiler and hope they can keep that up as they get ready tomorrow to start their final series with division rival Philadelphia Phillies up there in Philadelphia. First pitch will be at 6:45. Cal Contrail is on the bump for the Braves. He's 4-11 with a 5.51 ERA. He's taking on Aaron Nola, who's 2-7 with a 6.52. Aaron Nola has not been the same Aaron Nola that we've seen in years past. You'll be able to catch that game on Mix 104.1 and pre- and post-game coverage right here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, presented by Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland. And speaking of the Braves, they are within a single game now of passing the Marlins to get back into 3rd place in the division. Doesn't mean anything, but
still,
it's a moral victory.
Little pride thing.
Exactly.
And by the way, the Reds are doing their annual swoon here in August. They cannot win a game on the road out west. It's typical Cincinnati Reds baseball. They break my heart every year, guys. They're now 3.5 games out of the wild card. They were a half a game out at one point last week, and now they're 3.5 out.
Yeah, the Braves are 10.5 out of that last wild card spot, which is seemingly impossible to make that up at this point. But
I mean, I feel like 3.5 is impossible to make up.
But they're playing spoiler. They're making this run for the finish line very difficult on a lot of teams. So that's something that we're excited to continue to keep track of here on the drive.
But you know what? Football season's here, guys.
That's
baseball season. I'm putting that rearview mirror up. I'm like, yep, y'all see y'all.
Yeah, that's what we're really excited about. And as we've got about a minute or so left here, we were talking about some of those locked-in 3 games for the SEC next year as they go to that conference 9-game schedule. Each team is going to have 3 games. And I've heard an argument for a lot of different reasons for different teams. And if you're a Tennessee fan, you're losing one of those games between Florida and Georgia.
Yeah, you might lose both of them. You might lose both of them.
Highly possible.
You're not going to lose the Alabama game, and you're not going to lose the Vanderbilt game. Those are locked in for Tennessee. Who's that third?
Could be
permanent.
Could be Kentucky.
Could be Kentucky. I promise you, Kentucky's going to fight like crazy to keep Tennessee. And so Tennessee could end up having Kentucky and Vanderbilt, which is pretty good, wins probably, and then Alabama. But as far as the rivalry with Georgia, which is now 30-something years old, and the rivalry versus Florida, and not playing them every year, that's hard, boys. I hate it.
Yeah, I think Tennessee's is going to be Alabama, Vandy, and Florida. To me, I almost feel like that's a lock. Like, I would almost be willing to lock it in. I don't think they're willing to give up the Tennessee-Florida rivalry.
And you know Vanderbilt and Kentucky will be with each other. We know that.
Yeah, and so I just think, I just don't think that's enough. Especially Tennessee fans probably don't want it either. Like, if you're going to talk about strength of schedule, you're going to need to have a Florida. You're going to need to have an Alabama, and then one of those games can be kind of an off game. But no shade to Kentucky, but I just don't think that's a high quality opponent. Real quick. I know we got to go.
Go ahead.
Chipotle is giving every scholarship and walk-on student athlete at Florida, Georgia, and Ohio State a custom card granting them free Chipotle for the duration of their respected athletic seasons. You want to talk about a cool NIL deal?
They did that at Ohio State last year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Well, now I'm hungry. Hey, stay tuned for Finish Line Radio coming up next here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Appreciate you guys joining the show with us today. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a great day, everybody.